We just had a big gab session about something we want to talk to all of you about that we feel is super important, but kind of hard to put into words. So we're going to do our best, and if you guys don't get what we're trying to say, please send us questions, because it's actually a question of yours that got us talking about this, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And it was such a good question. So the question kind of went like this. If we are infinite beings of light, why do we got to do the work? Why do we have to heal our traumas? Why can't they just heal themselves?
Yeah.
And that's a great question. Like you're always saying, you know, there's God inside of us. So why do we have to do the work?
Yeah. And I always say, do the work, do the work. And
Yeah.
people are upset and frustrated. Why do we have to do the work? Why do you talk about doing the work?
And we did a show on what the work is.
Yeah.
Right? But we didn't really get deep into why do we have to do the work.
Why do we have to? Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know if we have enough time, but let's just get down to this.
Okay.
Warning, this may not be our most popular episode, as it really brings a lot of our healings down to we need to own it. To be honest, Mary and I thought about not airing this. So please let us know what you think. We do this in honor of humanity, not to upset people, but to know that they are loved and you are powerful. So we hope you enjoy it. All right.
And we'll try not to cry.
Yes, yes. Because I've seen this in my life, and doing the work is looking deep within to our traumas, our challenges that cause traumas, our experiences that cause traumas, our negative beliefs. Because in our subconscious mind, in our energetic field, they're guiding our life. Everything that we see in our reality is caused and created by us. It's a hard pill to swallow.
Because we're so quick to blame everybody else for anything that's wrong in our life, right? We can blame our parents, our friends, our spouses, our kids.
Yeah, so let's look at this from at the beginning. I'm going to say heaven. We're in heaven, and we chose to come to earth. Now, we knew earth is at a healing energy. It's different. There's an astrological lineup. The earth has a very powerful, potent healing energy. So we come in. You decide to be Mary. I decide to be Brenda. And we come in with challenges and themes.
So it's kind of like a board game. Is it like a board game?
I always say it's like a video game.
A video game? Like we come to Earth to play?
Yes, because in the Earth plane, this is where we can feel progression, experience change, and growth. So we forget then to remember. All right? So you came in with your challenges and themes. I came in with mine. Each and every one of you out there came in with your own. And how do you know what your challenges and themes are? Look at what your life has played out. Have you been abandoned? Do you get bored at your job? Do you feel rejected? Do you feel alone? Do you feel unloved? Not good enough? So a lot of the themes are similar, but they can be very specific to us.
Mm-hmm.
Then, because we are massive, beautiful, all-knowing beings, we chose our parents, where we're going to live, our siblings. Then we create contracts. Me and Mary had a contract to meet up. Me and my ex had a contract to meet up. Me and a lot of other people who hurt me had contracts to meet up. Why? Because I needed the challenges and themes I came to experience to magnify.
I think we have to do a show on contracts.
Oh, yeah.
Because that to me is a whole nother,
That's
big
true.
one.
Okay, so that'll be our next one.
Yeah.
About contracts. So we will gloss over this and we'll say, okay, so now here I am with trauma due to experiences that I went through as a child, in my teens, in my 20s, in my 30s, in my 40s, right?
Yeah.
Negative beliefs, that chatter in my head, you're not good enough, you're going to fail.
Okay, where do the negative beliefs come from? And the chatter in the head?
That comes from within us, the let's say bad, negative, sad, hurtful experiences. They reinforce the themes. So let's say you were abused. If you're abused, that says, I'm not good enough. I am unloved. Then what happens is we kind of branch off. There's aspects of us that are replaying the trauma, which get bigger and bigger, which cause negative beliefs. It's all interconnected. We're multidimensional beings. But we kind of magnify these things so we can wake up and start to heal them. But this is what we signed up for. A lot of people who listen to this podcast are light workers, old souls. They understand. They're a little more wise. They're having an awakening. They're saying, what is going on here? You signed up for this life. And someone will say, no, it was my parents did this to me. My mother did this to me. My brother did this to me. Yes, they did those things to you. But you signed up for it. You almost agreed to it. You asked them to do it to magnify the themes that you're having, the patterns, because as you start to awaken, you're actually going to see more darkness in this world. And this is, once you start to awaken, there's no going back. When we see people living in, what's that word called? When they're living, because they don't understand, they're not open, they haven't had their awakening. They're almost living in the illusion of their life. So they're going to work, they're taking care of their kids, they're just a product of life, they're victims.
Kind of like a robot.
Kind of like a robot,
Yeah.
right? And then they wake up and they see things scary. So then they go into maybe spirituality. I'm going to start meditating. I'm going to start visualizing. They listen to The Secret and they're doing that. Well, that is the first step of awakening, and starts to say like, oh, this is kind of scary. I'm seeing like, who am I really? I don't want to look. So there's kind of like this in-between uncomfortable stage where they'll sit in meditation because it feels good. Or they'll do yoga and it feels good, but they don't want to go into action of doing the deep work of, why do I feel alone? Why do I feel sad? Why do I feel despair? Why are people abandoning me? Why do people treat me with lack of respect? Because these are your energies, your themes that you're putting out there to bring back to you.
I told you it was going to be complicated. And I don't know if we have enough time for it all. But, like, what is the key message in that, Brenda? Like that's...
The key message is, someone asked, why do we have to do the work? If we're infinite beings, why don't we just live life, just ignore the negativity and just do the best we can? Why do I have to do the work? And then I'll say, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do the work. But for those of you who really want to raise your consciousness, really understand who you are.
And why you're here.
And why you're here. And why you signed up. It's about knowing thyself. The answers aren't outside. They're within. But the outside environment, your reality, is giving you clues to what's inside. Everything I created, I created. This relationship with Mary, I created. The relationship with my ex-husband, I created. I'm getting everyone, the relationship, to be what I need it to be, to reflect back to me what I need to learn. So looking at the experiences, the traumas, the patterns of behavior, the fears I have, that's knowing myself, and it's scary. But what happens is the negativity can be outside, external, but it also can be from our own traumas that have become its own consciousness, trying to get our attention. But then they don't want to be found, so they deflect and put us in confusion. So instead of me saying, you know what, I'm going to take full responsibility for what's happened in my life, if I don't want to look at it, I can say, you know what, that person has issues. They did that. I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to live in my own whatever, and everyone else is the problem. I'm not the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But when you are doing the work, and when you feel ready and strong enough, then you start to look within and say, I am the cause of this. Why would I create this? What do I need to learn? What do I need to heal? What am I ready to release? And we heal layer by layer.
And it kind of gives you maybe a sense of control, like that it's not external things that are controlling your life, but that you have control over your life and how much you love yourself and how much work you want to do.
Yeah, but sometimes that control is scary because a lot of people will say, I created this. Why would I do that?
Yeah, and people have lived through some pretty horrible things, and so, you know, it's kind of a tough pill to swallow to say I created that awful thing that happened to me, because we don't want to be blaming, right? Like, we have to be careful, because I think there are lots of awful things out there, and if, you know, you're going through something, we are hoping that you're reaching out to people that love you and professionals that can help you. And if you really have nobody else, please reach out to us, because we'll be here for you.
Yeah, it's a very interesting time on planet Earth, and we're awakening more and more. There's more souls awakening and confusion, having emotional breakdowns, and it's the average person. It's the people next door, and there's so much fear out there about what's to come. I know I'm just veering off, but it's not scary. What our future holds is beautiful, but how we get there is knowing thyself, doing the work, because our light increases, our vibration increases, better opportunities increases, better timelines increase. By looking within, we actually really excel into a very positive place. But the world and what we've created is telling us, don't look, don't do the work. You don't have to do the work. You are a magnificent being of light, and that's why you chose to be here. Earth is the master class. You're a very, very powerful soul to be on planet Earth. And we knew that before we signed up, saying, yeah, bring it on. We have taken on our ancestral dysfunction, our family constellation issues, traumas from different lifetimes of our oversoul. We made contracts, which we'll talk about another time.
Look at you go. You just mentioned like 4 or 5 other coffee talks.
Yeah,
that we could probably
so much knowledge there. But it all boils down to know thyself. Who are you, Mary? Who am I?
Know thyself.
Layer by layer, we chip away and we broaden our understanding of ourselves.
So the answer to the question is, why do we do the work? So that we know who we are and why we're here.
And we are contributing to the human collective of higher consciousness if we choose to take the challenge.
It's up to you, folks. For more information, go to www.sobrilliant.ca. Brenda's got her free discovery calls. You can make an appointment with her for free just to chat and ask your questions. So please do so. Please reach out.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. This episode is not meant to cause harm, but rather to share a different perspective, which you may or may not agree with. However, we acknowledge that talking about trauma can cause difficult feelings, and so we ask that you reach out for help to friends, to family, to therapists, and your doctor, or Brenda, if you feel you need support. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for joining us.
If you have any questions or comments, visit us at sobrilliant.ca.
Sending you lots of love and light. Until next time.